Yo, what's good, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, guys, I'm going to show you the top 5 best class ups to use here after the Season 3 Reloaded update. Now, a lot of weapons got changed and attachments as well, so there's a new list of weapons you need to use. So if you guys are new here and find this video to help, make sure that like button, subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you don't miss any more videos. But anyways, guys, let's get into it. Now, for our first weapon in today's video, guys, we have the Lachmann 556. Now, after this update, they made this weapon super nice. They just buffed some damage range on this weapon from minimum, maximum, mid-range. I mean, this weapon is going to be actually a very solid weapon now. Now, getting into my classes up, we're going to start with the muzzle here, and we're actually going to be adding on the Cronin Ma 86 muzzle. Now, this can help with muzzle flash concealment. That's nice, but recoil stabilization, recoil steadiness, weapons easier to control, weapons more steady. The only thing about this weapon I don't like is just that steadiness it has. It's not really steady. This is going to help that a lot. It's going to keep us more on point, hit our targets, and we're just going to get a lot of easier kills. Now, we're going to jump over to the laser next and add on the FSS OV laser. Now, this is going to give us aim down sight speed, aiming stability, and sprint to fire speed. A lot more accuracy, a lot more handling, help us be more aggressive and get more kills. Now, for the stock, we're going to be adding on the factory S9 factory stock for that sprint speed, aim walking movement speed, crouch movement speed, and aim down sight speed. Just basically here, just getting a lot more mobility and handling. We're aiming down sights faster, moving faster when aimed down sights, and also sprinting faster, being more aggressive, being in people's faces. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. For the magazine, we are going to be running the 60 round mag, just say for a larger magazine size, basically converting this assault rifle into an LMG, just running, gunning, never having to reload. And then going into our final attachment here, guys, we're going to be adding on the Edge 47 grip for that aiming out stability and recoil stabilization. Now, the tunes we're going to put on our class up, we're going to start with the muzzle here, and we're going to put our gun kick control at 0.22 and our aim down sight speed at 0.55. We just get a little bit more handling, a little bit more recoil control. The weapon's not going to be kicking up as much, and of course, that aim down sight speed will be a little bit more faster. Now, for the Edge 47 grip, we're going to put our aim walking movement speed at 0.31. This will give us more mobility when aimed down sights, and then for that recoil stabilization, we have a 0.34. The weapon will be a lot more easier to control, a lot more calm. Now, we're going to go over to the stock here, and we're going to be going to the aim walking movement speed again, and putting this at 2.09. Again, we're getting more mobility when aimed down sights, and of course, we're getting some more aim down sight speed. Go ahead and max that out. And then for our final attachment here, guys, for the laser, we're going to put our aim down sight speed at 34.55, and then our sprint to fire speed will be at 0.23, just giving us a lot more handling, being more aggressive, and you're going to be running, gunning, mowing people down. Now, for our next weapon, guys, we have the Bas-p. Now, this weapon as well got a crazy buff from damage and also got an aim down sight speed buff. I think this weapon actually may be a top 3 SMG, maybe a number 1 SMG now. But for my classes, we're going to start with the underbarrel and go all the way over here and add on the Bruin Warrior grip. This can help with hip fire accuracy, hip recoil control, aim walking steadiness, and recoil steadiness. Now, I like the weapon's recoil control. It's not that bad until you get into those farther ranges, which we'll fix that later. But the main things I'm worried about here is that hip fire accuracy, hip recoil control, and recoil steadiness. Keeping the weapon more steady when firing a weapon is very crucial, but also we have that hip fire accuracy and recoil control. So with this build, we can aim down sights or hip fire. You can be very accurate. It doesn't matter how you're playing, you're going to get easier kills. Now, for the magazine, we are going to be adding on the 50 round drum. I should have mentioned this in the Lachmann 556, but they actually buffed the larger magazine sizes. There's not as much of a delay or a con in the movement speed, the mobility, and the handling. So the larger magazine sizes are actually going to be very usable now. So we're going to be adding this on and trying this out. Now, for the rear grip, we are going to be adding on the D37 grip. This is going to help with recoil control. Now, like I mentioned about this weapon, getting into those further ranges, it's not the best to use, but this attachment here is going to fix that problem. At those further range, mid-ranges, and then going into those longer ranges, you're not going to have any problems no more using this attachment. The weapon's more calm. It's not jumping everywhere into those longer range gunfights, so add this on. Now, since the iron sights, in my opinion, are very ugly, I am adding on the Slimline Pro. You guys may disagree. Some of you guys may agree. But if you don't like the Slimline Pro, use whatever optic that you guys like. But if you don't know what to run, I highly suggest you guys run the Slimline Pro. And then going into our final attachment here, guys, for the laser, we are going to be adding on the VLK-70W laser. This can help with more handling and accuracy, just being more aggressive and getting a lot of easier kills. Now, the tunes for the Bas-p, we're going to start with the Warrior grip, and we're going to max our aim down sight speed for more handling, and then we're going to put our hip recoil control at 0.34. So if we do need a hip fire, it's going to be very easy to control. You will not miss any shots. Now, we're going to jump over to the D37 grip here. We're going to put our sprint to fire speed at 0.38 and our recoil steadiness at 0.45. A little bit more handling as well, being more aggressive off the sprints, and as well keeping our weapon more steady. Very easy to use. Now for the optic, we're going to put our eye position at far, 2.25, max that out. It will give us less visual recoil, so it's going to be a lot easier to see when firing your weapon. And of course, we went with more aim down sight speed here at 0.97. This is a sweet spot for that aim down sight speed. And then going into our laser sight here, we're going to put our aim down sight speed at 42.77. And for that sprint to fire speed, we have at 0.40. And as you guys see on the graph, we have almost maxed out our handling here. It's going to be very aggressive. You guys will love it. Now for our next weapon, guys, we have the Honey Badger or the Chimera, whatever you may call it. Now this weapon, since Season 1 Reloaded, has been god tier. The weapon, it's always been good. I mean, even nerfed, I mean, this weapon is still probably one of the best assault rifles to use right now. Now, we're going to start with the barrel here. We have a new build that I've recently found, and I mean, this build is actually really nasty. And we're going to be using the first barrel, which is the Phoenix barrel. We're getting more damage, more range, bull velocity, hipfire accuracy, and recoil control. You can't go wrong with that, especially for the Chimera, just making it a lot better at those longer ranges. It's no longer a pea shooter at those like 60, 55 meter ranges. I mean, you're not going to have no worries. Now for the muzzle, we are going to be adding on the Talon 5 suppressor for that silent suppression, bull velocity, damage, range. I don't care about that recoil smoothness because it does nothing, so we don't need to worry about that. We're more quiet, staying stealthy. I mean, with the Honey Badger, it had a suppressor, but we had to add another one. It's a little bit better now, but we have a lot more range, a lot more damage, more bull velocity, and as well, we're staying quiet still. Now for the underbarrel, we're going to be adding on the Edge 47 grip. I have mentioned this in a lot of videos. This is the best underbarrel you can start using now. It doesn't take any mobility away. You get more recoil stabilization, aiming out stability. You're just really easy using. Now for the magazine, again, we're using the 45 round mag. Since this is the larger magazine size for the weapon, it has more mobility, more handling, so we don't really have to worry about that. And then for our final attachment, guys, we're going to be adding on the flash grip. Staying more aggressive, bump that handling, sprint to fire speed, and aim down sight speed. Now the tunes for this class up, we're going to start with the barrel, and we're going to put our damage range at 0.25. This will give us a little bit more range and damage, and we're going to put our recoil stance at 0.42. This is going to help the weapon be more steady. The iron sights on this weapon makes the weapon jump a little bit. We don't have to worry about that, but that recoil steadiness will calm it down a lot. So at any range, I mean, you're going to be hitting your shots, melting people super fast, so make sure you tune these like this. Now for the muzzle or the suppressor, we're going to put our bull velocity at 0.58 and our aim down sight speed at 0.45. We need some more handling for our build, so we're going to put our aim down sight speed at 0.45. This is the best spot. And then again, our bullets are traveling a lot faster and traveling a tiny bit further. Now for the Edge 47 grip, we're going to put our aim walking movement speed at 0.30, a little bit more mobility when aimed down sights, which is very helpful for that pre-aiming. And then for the aim down sight speed at 0.54, just again, more handling, we need that. And then for our final attachment here, guys, for the rear grip, we're going to put our sprint to fire speed at 0.25, and then our aim down sight speed will be at 0.77. Now for our next weapon, guys, we have the M4. Now I wanted to bring this in today's video because it got somewhat of a buff. Now this weapon is easily one of the best weapons in the game right now, but if you look in the description in the patch notes, they actually added this thing to the M4 called the First Rise. Now what happens here is basically they increase the sprint to fire speed on the M4, and with the M4 already having some good handling, I mean, this weapon just got a little bit better, and I say that did get a buff here. Now we're going to start with the stock here and start with the P80 strike stock. This gives us more mobility and handling. We're moving faster when aimed down sights, moving faster and running faster in general, and of course that aim down sight speed is very important for our playstyle, helping us be more aggressive and getting more kills. Now, for the rear grip, we are going to be adding on the ZX grip for that recoil control. Now, since the strike stock did take away a little bit of recoil control, I want to add on the grip here to help with a little bit more recoil control. The weapon is really easy to control, but I want my weapon to be more calm, not jump as much, not everywhere, so I'm hitting my shots 100%, being more accurate, getting a lot easier and easier kills. Now the magazine, I am adding on the 60 round mag. Now since the magazines, the larger magazines got buffs, I want to look at this and try this out, and I think it's going to be more fun. Never have to reload, basically made the M4 into an LMG, never have to reload, have more fun. The underbarrel, we are going to be adding on the Edge 47 grip, aiming out stability, recoil stabilization, never going to jump, way more easier to control, get a lot more kills. And then for our final attachment, guys, for the barrel, we are going to be adding on the high tower 20-inch barrel for that bull velocity, damage range, recoil control, and hipfire accuracy, which is the best attachment here for the M4. Now the tunes for the M4, we're going to start with the barrel, and we're going to max out our damage range. We're getting a lot of damage, a lot of range here, so it's going to be very nice to use at longer ranges. And also that recoil steadiness on the left bar at 0.21. The M4 is going to be a lot easier to control, way more steady at those longer ranges as well. So you're not going to have any problems with your gunfights, up close, medium, and even further ranges. Now, for the Edge 47 grip, we're going to put our aim walkie movement speed at 0.17, a little bit more mobility when aiming down sights, and of course for our aim down sight speed, we have a 0.57. A little bit more handling here is just going to help the M4 be a lot better in those running gun type of play styles. Now, for the tunes on the rear grip, we're going to put our sprint to fire speed at 0.09 and our aim down sight speed at 0.45. We're getting a lot more handling here, being a little bit more aggressive. And then for our final attachment here, guys, for the aim walkie movement speed on the strike stock, we're going to put at 1.08. And our aim down sight speed would be at 3.10. For our next and final weapon, guys, we have the Basilisk, which is a secondary. They did buff this weapon for the ammunition type, and I mean, this thing is super fun to use now. You guys will love it. Now, we're going to start with the rear grip and add on the Row 99 grip. This is going to help with a pistol fast draw, sprint to fire speed, aim down sight speed. Now, since we are using one that aim down sight speed is very crucial, same with that sprint to fire speed, you want to aim down sights with this pistol. You guys are going to love it, so you want to add this attachment on. Now, for the ammunition type, we are going to be adding on the .500 snake shots, basically making this pistol into a shotgun now. You guys are going to love using this attachment, and actually in this update, they made it where you can tune this attachment, so it's going to be even better now. As you guys saw in previous gameplays, just wait until you see gameplay with this now. I mean, it's going to be super, super nice. Now, for the action, for the trigger, we are going to be using the Bryson HTA for that faster fire rate and trigger response time. The trigger is more sensitive, so we're shooting faster, and also we have a faster fire rate, so we want this on. For the barrel, we are going to be adding on the F-Tac arrow for that damage range, hipfire accuracy, movement speed, and bullet velocity. And then for our final attachment for the laser, we are going to be adding on the Revo LSD 7MW for that hip recoil control, hipfire accuracy, and that sprint to fire speed. And then for our tunes, we're going to start with the rear grip. We're going to put our sprint to fire speed at 0.15. Aim down sight speed will be at 0.39, so our handling is going up. And as you guys see here in the middle graph, handling is up. It's going to help us be more aggressive. Now for the snake shot rounds, we're going to put our bullet velocity at 5.81 and our damage range at 0.36. This is a new thing that they did. We're getting more damage here, more range, so our one-shot potential has increased to a further range, which is very awesome. Now for the trigger action, we're going to put our sprint to fire speed max out at 0.10. This is going to give us better handling, and also that aim down sight speed at 0.13, getting a little bit more handling as well. Aim down sight speed is a lot faster. Now for the barrel, we're going to put our damage range at 0.01. Yes, you actually just want to move it to 0.01 or try to get it as close as you can. And then we're going to move our aim walkie movement speed at 0.35 so we get more mobility when aimed down sights. And then for our final attachment here, guys, for the laser sight, we're going to put our sprint to fire speed at 13.16. And we're not going to change anything on the left bar because we don't need to. But guys, those are the class ups you need to use here after the Season 3 Reloaded update. Let me know in the comments if there's a weapon I should have put in today's video, or if there's in a future video I can use. But right now, these are the best weapons you can use. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about them. Thank you guys for watching. You guys stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one.